decentralized, everybody having a copy of that, versus having a centralized entity that you trust?
I don't think there is a benefit. I think the question's often posed in the wrong way. Usually people say the difference is having a centralized entity that people trust versus having decentralized copy. There's a third option, which is to have a centralized authority that makes its logs available for anyone to have a copy of. And the important thing about that is you do it in a way where if you and I were given different copies of those logs from the central authority, we can find out that we've been lied to. Right? Because in this circumstance, lying means giving different answers to different people. You know, I was told by him that the house I want to own was previously owned by Alice and is now owned by me. You were told that house was previously owned by Alice and is now owned by you. Ownership still goes back to the central authority, but I at least want to know the central authority is doing their job properly. And that type of system is very valuable, even though, you know, the central authority is still trusted in the sense that they could arbitrarily say, well, you know, he owns the house now.
Yeah, well, that could be a problem. That could be a problem.
Absolutely. But it's not a problem solved with tech. The only part tech can solve is to make it obvious who should have owned the house. But the way you actually solve that problem is now that it's obvious who should have owned the house, now you either vote them out of office or get some guns and shoot the guy.
Last couple of questions, then we gotta go.
I just want to build on that. So wouldn't having it decentralized prevent the possibility of us being lied to in the first place?
Not any better than having a centralized auditable. Okay, the thing you gotta remember is, in the concept of something like a house, what ownership means is a centralized concept. There's no getting around that. You know, we have to agree on some authority to assign ownership in the first place and respect it. I mean, after all, where in all this system do we decide, all right, at what point do we steal all the land from the natives? You know, any ownership blockchain will trace back to the point where the country was founded, and either they peacefully got the land from some other country or some other entity, or they stole it. They're always going to go back to that. And we, through central authority, agreed that that's somewhat acceptable, or at least we follow it, and then we enforce the decision based on that. Because after all, it's just data.
But if ownership is just a transaction on the chain, just like spending money, like if I want to give you some satoshis or I want to give you the ownership of this house, if these are the abstract way, the details of this being money and this being ownership of a house, if it's just transactions.
But look at this from this perspective. If I buy a house from you, and we do some fancy on blockchain protocol, and now I have this digital data that says I own a house, what's going to stop you from preventing me from getting access to that house? You know, yeah, we go through all this rigmarole, and then you don't.
We can have smart contract locks.
Right, so we can have a smart contract.
All right, so it's a house. We had a fancy lock. You had physical possession. You take the lock off. You put another one on. I mean, this just isn't an example where digital data can create enforcement.
Yeah, but I agree that the data doesn't create enforcement, but I also think that it will change in the future. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but
I just don't see houses having any mechanism with any conceivable, tech in 50 years.
I don't know, if you build a fence and then you can't get it unless you're able to unlock it with your private key.
Even then, I mean, the reality is going to be that the court will still say, well, we seized the land anyway because she was actually bankrupt, or, we had some judgment against her. We're going to knock that fence down.
I'm sorry, guys, we can't take more questions. Security's already asking us to.
Sorry
about that.
If you want to ask any questions with Peter Todd, there's some upstairs kind of lounge area you can hang around in. This give you literally 1 minute. It's going to be super fast. In regards to payment, like we said at the beginning, this is free, so if you paid, well, we can give you a refund. Otherwise, if you want to give a donation, please, to cover the cost. Just to quickly introduce what we're doing here, guys, it's exactly what happened, Bitcoin education. So I have an experience, I used to play professional soccer until I got injured 8 years ago. So I got into Bitcoin since then, and I can focus on the general concept of Bitcoin. I'd like for technical and general concepts to be discussed at these meetups. So if you feel like you want to, if you're good enough to kind of teach people or talk about people with the technical aspects and the general aspects, then please let's come. Send me a message. We'll put up our information in a sec. But that's just the idea. So for future meetups, we'd like to have some general information at the beginning and then maybe get into some technical information, maybe even 50-50 the whole time. So, but I've been running them in Brampton, so I have a great partnership with the libraries in Brampton now. They let me host them for free. Obviously, this is a different situation, so if you know any space or you're willing to help me find a library or anywhere where we could run these meetups, then great. Send a message, let's collaborate, because that's the number one thing missing, I think, in Bitcoin is just Bitcoin education. You know, there's so much information. If we can just get together and talk about what's true and what's not true, I think that will really help drive adoption. And Peter Todd coming here today was fantastic. I'm pretty sure if I hadn't worked for Samurai Wallet, which is one of the best wallets that exists today, I don't know if he would have taken me seriously because there's not much to go off of, but he knows that I've been.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I did absolutely no research into how you work.
Okay, well,
it's not that hard to get me to go show up to something and give a talk.
Well, then you're welcome anytime you ever again. But yeah, that's the goal. So thanks everybody for coming, and yeah, I think that's it. So I'll be around up in the lobby. So if you guys want to bounce ideas off each other, then please let's meet, let's talk, and that's what all this was about today. So she's just writing my Twitter handle, my email, and then we're just gonna write the Meetup app information. So that's the way. This was the Bitcoin Toronto Meetup. So if you haven't heard of the Meetup app, download the Meetup app. It's not just for Bitcoin. You can meet up with different people that are interested in different things. So we have Bitcoin TO Meetup. That's our Twitter handle. This is my Twitter handle. That's my email if you want to get in touch with me.
Oh, I'm fine. That's fine. That's my private Twitter. I wouldn't recommend it. That's fine.
Okay.
I get political a lot.
It's not so private anymore.
And yeah, if you guys want a business card as well to stay in touch with us, there's lots here. But yeah.
Peter Todd.
What is that information?
His Twitter.
Oh, if you guys can't find Peter Todd information, it's pretty easy. Just search it up.
If you can't figure out my email address, it's terrible stuff.
Yes. So yeah, there's lots of different meetups. If you search like just Bitcoin in Toronto and on the Meetup app. So this one's specifically called the Bitcoin Toronto Meetup. I was kind of late. My Brampton Bitcoin Meetup, the handle is /Bitcoin Meetup. So I'm pretty sure I was lucky on that one. But the handle for this is Toronto-BTC Meetup. So that's kind of a mouthful. So if you just search Bitcoin Toronto Meetup, that's what it is. There's a Toronto Bitcoin Meetup run by Anthony DiOrio, but I think that's the idea to really focus on Bitcoin anymore anyway. So that's kind of why we're here as well, to really focus on Bitcoin. There's a lot of blockchain meetups, there's a lot of cryptocurrency meetups. I feel like they don't have the longest term potential. I feel like Bitcoin has the longest term potential, especially security-wise. And if you know you're talking about value, that's what you want to build on the most secure network. Thanks so much for coming. We gotta go. We'll meet up if you guys want in the lounge area. But
So
yes.
big hand for Peter.
Thanks so much.